Welcome to this tarot reading for Monday the 11th of March with me, Taylor-Nyx, and thank you for joining me. There are some beautiful energies and messages at play in this 3-card spread that I've pulled for us today. But before I dive into that, I just want to say I hope that you are enjoying the energy of the Pisces new moon happening on Sunday the 10th. So if you're watching this on the 11th, that would have been yesterday, but we'll still very much be feeling the effects and the energies of that moon. And if you have a journaling practice based around the cycle of the moon like I do, then it's likely that you will have been journaling, or at least thinking about and pondering on what you want to manifest over the coming weeks and months. So I hope that you've been enjoying that practice, and there are some relevant messages in this spread, I think, for us, or relevant themes around that, which I'll get into now. So the cards that I've drawn for us today are, from left to right, the King of Wands, followed by the 9 of Cups, and then the 2 of Cups. And the King of Wands it feels like a graduation. The King of Wands is the most mature of the Wands energies, and the suit of Wands speaks about action, and it's pure fire energy, the energy of doing, but as opposed to the other characters in the court cards. So for example, the Page is the least experienced of those energies, followed by the Knight, who's very much on a quest, but that energy of doing associated with the Knight is not particularly controlled. It's very dynamic but less controlled, so it can be seen as rash and you know, doing in any direction. So the King is talking about an energy that's bold action but far more centered. So when I see this card, its associations are around having reached a point where whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you've been striving to do, you've reached a point of accomplishment with it, or understanding with it, a maturity around that doing, that action in that direction, that enables you to have a clearer view, to feel far more stable in that action taking. The King of Wands is he's a visionary, he's a strategic leader, he's charismatic, magnetic, intentional, and focused on the long-term view of whatever it is that he is trying to do. And also he's adept at enlisting or attracting others to assist him with whatever it is that he is trying to do. It's kind of it can speak to delegation of tasks. You know, it talks about having reached a point where you can start to orchestrate action rather than doing it solely yourself. So it is a nice card to show up in a spread if you have been striving towards something and it's felt a little difficult, but it talks about, you know, starting to find your feet, or finally reaching a point where you feel good about what you're doing. It feels like you have finally arrived in terms of whatever it is you've been working on. Now, in the center of the spread, we have what is known often as the Wish card, because the 9 of Cups speaks to the fulfillment of all of our wishes and our dreams. It talks about a a contentment, a fulfillment, a satisfaction, because all of our cups are in a row in the same way that we feel like all of our ducks are in a row. And the Suit of Cups speaks about emotion and feeling. So it's that real sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, happiness, a settled feeling that, you know, things are really starting to stack up nicely. You know, it's a job well done. And it's an orderly state of, you know, it feels like things are really slotting into place. And it's that lovely feeling of finally, you know, our dreams are coming to fruition and everything suddenly feels less chaotic. And we can actually sit and reflect with gratitude and with satisfaction around what we've managed to achieve or put into place or manifest. So that's a really lovely energy. But the way that the cards are positioned in this spread suggests that potentially you might be so focused on doing in one area, and perhaps that's because you've become accustomed to having to work hard towards something, to being ultra focused in order to get where you are, and perhaps you're so very focused on the doing, on the action, that you might not be allowing yourself a chance to reflect on how far you've come. And the spread, it's possible that the spread is suggesting that, you know, there needs to be that space of acknowledgement for you to appreciate and to assimilate how far you've come, how well you've done, how well things are going. Sometimes when we're so focused on the doing, there's no space for a moment, just being. And it's in that space of just being that we can get a sense of perspective around where we are in our journey, and just a moment of self-appreciation, self-reflection, gratitude, just to give yourself kudos for how far you've come on this journey. And that is a very important part of the process, because it's what bolsters us and feeds the fire of future actions. So the way that the cards are positioned, I would say, suggests that try to make space for that moment of reflection. Now, with the Two of Cups on the right, I think that that kind of extends that concept of what are we not noticing, or what are we not giving space for, because we're so focused on action and doing that our attention is turned away from some opportunities and possibilities that exist for us. And when it comes to the Two of Cups, it can speak about relationships and loving relationships or romantic possibilities. Again, the cups are speaking around emotion and feelings, but it can also speak to any kind of emotional support, or like a synergy or a shared vision, or an emotional exchange, or a symbiosis, a connection, a partnership. So that could be relevant in terms of work and career, or it could be relevant in terms of our personal relationships. But either way, I think the way that this spread reads to me is that there is an opportunity to feel emotionally supported, to receive more support and connection that is on offer to you, but just to make space to notice and be aware of that, in the same way that it's important to make space to give time and attention and appreciation to how far we've come along our journey, also to make space for time and attention to what emotional support or emotional connections are available to us. Because when we're so focused in one direction and we're so focused on, the grind or the, on manifesting what we want, on working hard and being productive, and being a provider, or any of those themes, it can be easy to miss the good stuff that's going on in our lives, and the positive opportunities and possibilities that are on offer. So the reason that I mentioned at the beginning of this spread that there are themes in here relevant to that new moon practice of sowing seeds of what you want to manifest over the coming weeks and months is because this spread very much speaks to the idea that, yes, when we are trying to manifest something, it is very important to have that intention of action, to meet the universe halfway on whatever we're asking for. Because just saying that you want to bring something into your life, writing it down on a piece of paper and then doing nothing in the direction of that dream is less likely to yield the results that you're looking for. That divine energy, that universal energy is far more likely to meet you halfway. It's that concept of meeting the universe halfway on whatever it is that you're asking for. Then you're going to get the help. So obviously, action is very important in the direction of your dreams. But the spread does remind us that there needs to be space for allowing, there needs to be space for being, there needs to be space for gratitude of self, for self-appreciation of how far you've journeyed, how much you've been through, what you've made it out the other side of, how far you've come. You've graduated to this King of Wands energy, which is such a significant level to have reached in terms of what you have been trying to do. And you really need to give yourself props for that, to just give pause, just to give yourself some love for how far you've come, and to notice, this 9 of Cups, to notice all of the ducks, all of the cups that you've already got in a row. Perhaps there are still a few unruly ones, but you really have managed to do so well. There's so much that you've managed to line up and get into place. And it's that appreciation, it's that noticing, it's that appreciation that is going to be the fuel for the fire of the next leg of action. That will bolster us, that will give us what we need. It will, and also just allow the space for noticing that there may be offers or opportunities for emotional connection. And that emotional connection, obviously it could be in terms of a personal relationship, something that is going to just provide a lovely nurturing foundation or a loving foundation that will help us along our path of doing, or it could be something more strategic. It could be something that is, you know, a mutually beneficial partnership, which is going to just propel you in the direction that you want. But you have to be looking and you have to be noticing and having your eyes open to that in order to take advantage of it and to benefit from it. So I really hope that that helps, and I really hope, like I say, that you are enjoying the energy that's surrounding us currently. I just want to say my Smith-Waite deck, as you can see, is an iridescent deck. So I know that we have some issues here with the light bouncing off of the cards. So I'm going to endeavour to get a different, or use next time I have several decks, but I'm enjoying this one currently. But if I am going to use a Smith-Waite deck, I'll try and make sure that it's one that doesn't reflect the light quite so badly, but it might take me a couple of days to find the right one. But yes, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you enjoyed this reading, then like and subscribe. It would be lovely to have you on board. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, bye.